Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is January 7th, coming up on 9:30 a.m. here. Today we're going to look at the flooding event that's unfolding right before our eyes. Then we're going to look at some windy potential going into this afternoon and evening. Then we'll take a look at the extended, where snow lovers might like the signal showing up for later January on into February. But let's just dive right into what happened yesterday with those precipitation totals. You can see many of these areas are pegged off the scale, 5+ inches in 24-hour period. And that's what's causing the severe flooding, for example, on I-5, where it's closed for a 20-mile stretch now. All passes are also closed. We're basically locked up in here in Northwest Washington. We are trapped. There is no way in or out of Western Washington. So let's go ahead and dive right in here and take a look at what happened there. Here's the remnants of that atmospheric river going into the Dakotas. You can see that frontal system sliding down through California now. And we've got the weak low pressure moving through our area and filling as it goes inland on the coast. If we take a look at 36-hour totals, look at some of these totals down here in Southwest Washington. 7, 8+ inches. Many areas with over 2 inches in this 36-hour period, and a lot of this fell mostly in a 24-hour period. But you can see why the rivers are encroaching on I-5 down there. Some of these totals are just incredible, over 5 inches, close to 6 inches in many areas. And look at the coastal regions. Some areas getting over 6 inches of rain. So a very intense storm, a very powerful atmospheric river moving through there. This is the Skookumchuck River in Centralia. The record was 191, the highest crest. We're headed for 192.5 feet. It's going to blast past that record, and that's why we're getting that severe flooding down there. Residential areas in Centralia can expect flooding, severe potential, and I-5 is probably going to be closed for a few days. I know the passes are probably closed till Sunday too, so that makes at least 2.5, 3 days of being fully trapped here in Western Washington. Here is the I-5 milepost 78 interchange. You can see the water encroaching here. I looked for some webcams down there. I saw some others that were getting close to the freeway also. But apparently the water is over the freeway now down there. So heads up if you are traveling. If you're attempting to travel out of the region, don't even try it. You're not getting anywhere. You're not getting to Portland. You're not going to get through the passes. White Pass, Snoqualmie Pass, Stevens Pass are all closed. Highway 20, of course, closed for the winter. And as we look here, this is landslide information, the landslide index here. Check out Tacoma Narrows. If you're on the right side of this line, you are in increased risk of landslides. And Tacoma Narrows is really high. There's a lot of homes in Tacoma. They're on hillsides. So, I mean, there's not much you can do about a landslide, but you can kind of look out for warning signs of sloping soil and strange noises coming from the landscape around you. But look at Seattle, Tacoma, extremely high landslide index. That's right where I'm living here, and I'm on a hillside. So I'll be watching out for that. Look at Everett, Boeing Field. So Seattle proper looks like they're on the bad side of this landslide index line, even Everett. So heads up, everybody. And we talked about this last night. What happened with this flooding? You can see this atmospheric river extending all the way down from the tropics, Hawaii, all the way back into the Pacific Northwest. And as we put that into motion, you can see that atmospheric river just trained over our area all the way into this morning before it finally kicked out. I woke up and it was still raining here. These atmospheric rivers, it's a term that people ask about sometimes, but there's several. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3 going on in the Pacific, usually at any given time. It's just when they hit land and they stall out is when they cause problems. You'll notice that as it moves through Oregon there and down through California, it's kind of transient and it moves fairly quickly, and it's not flooding any one area at the same time. And then you can see this next one taking its place here, and we go into the future there. It's just kind of over the ocean mainly, affects Southeast Alaska, but it's not that strong, and it does move around. And then you can see another one approaching us later in the period. We're going to have to watch out for that one too. That one is kind of aimed at BC and Washington, although it doesn't look quite as long lasting as the previous atmospheric river. So what's coming up here? This is a 24-hour running total. So you can see as we get into Saturday, we get a break. BC is still getting some rain up there, though, in the coastal range. Vancouver Island's still going to pick up some additional precipitation. But look at Washington, Oregon. We really dry off finally into Monday. And then we start getting some precip totals back in early next week, and we have to watch for that next atmospheric river out in the future for next week also. But we'll take what we can get. We need a break here for sure. And we've got some wind potential also. It's not that strong, but you can see the gradients tighten up here through western Washington, western Oregon a bit. This is not a significant wind maker by any stretch of the imagination. Here are the wind gust totals here. You can see the Oregon coast getting, or they already got, actually, most of those winds are already occurring on the Oregon coast. And you can see we get some gusts through this afternoon through the Seattle area. And of course the higher terrain, watch out there. It looks like we're going to get a westerly surge down the Strait of Juan de Fuca there and towards Whidbey Island and just north of Everett. So watch out for that too. This is for Seattle. This is for Friday morning. The wind was gusting pretty good here. I didn't see what the high was yet. I'll check up on that later. But you can see this potential for some 40-mile-per-hour gusts through the afternoon. But that wasn't really the big weather maker. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is what a lot of people want to hear about. We're looking at some long-range signals here that are kind of lining up. As we look into late January, you can see there's a cold signal for central portions of the country over the Great Basin. But check out Alaska, the Yukon, Northwest Territories, and into British Columbia now. The Canadian is showing this signal here. This is on into early February. Are we going to do this February snowfall again here, or is this just an anomaly? The runs have been showing this off and on though. Let's check out the GFS. That was the recent cold we had there, and as we push on, you can see it slides through the east coast there. So they're going to get a little bit of cold weather for a bit, and then you can see the country mostly warms up here. Let me click on that so it goes day at a time. And as we go into later January, you see the center of the country east of the Rockies. Nice chilly signal there. Get into later January, and look at this. British Columbia again starts to cool down. And look at the signal for Western Canada again into early February. Look at the Yukon and British Columbia here on the GFS extended. Very cold. This would potentially impact Washington, Oregon, Idaho as well. And now let's check the European extended. And this is early February. Look at this signal. It's an incredible signal out there for Western Canada. So, I mean, we might be doing this again, folks, into early February. So we're going to watch this run day by day, or actually these run twice a week. So I shouldn't say that. We don't have anything going out this far yet. We will be watching the teleconnections and the indexes. And that is what this is right here. You can see this is the East Pacific Oscillation. As we go warmer with here, we tend to keep the cold air intrusions out of a lot of the United States. When we go negative here, this builds a ridge over the Pacific Ocean and allows that north flow, similar to what we had earlier, to build up, that ridge to build, and then allow those systems to move in from the north. So you can see as this goes negative later into the period, into January, maybe that's on to something too. So again, the extended is good for snowlovers, but it is way out there, so it's not something you can hang your hat on. It's just something to watch at this point. It's just something to hope for if you love snow, or if you don't like snow, you want this to change for sure. But yeah, what a flooding event we had there. Again, the landslides are a big concern. It's a good thing the rain has stopped, and we'll have to watch that atmospheric river for next week also. And again, all the passes are closed. What a storm. I mean, you're going to be telling your children about this storm. And this is just an amazing winter. I mean, all the passes are closed. I-5 is closed. I can't remember the last time that happened. I was stuck for 3 days in eastern Washington when Snoqualmie and Highway 2 and White Pass were closed in 1996 February. Huge flooding event and freezing rain event in eastern Washington. And we finally got out by driving all the way down around Mount Rainier on White's Pass. But yeah, what a storm. I mean, this is amazing. So I'm getting a lot of good feedback from you guys too. So thanks for watching the videos, and I might do a live feed tonight, checking out on how the flooding looks by that time. And if not, of course, I'll do my daily update tomorrow. Then we'll check out that atmospheric river, and we'll look at some more long-range signals and see if that snow looks like it might be returning in February again. As you know, we've got 2 of the last 3 years in February. We've got some really heavy snowfalls through the Puget Sound, western Washington. So we'll see if we're going to make this a trend. Maybe February will be our snow month. So anyway, thanks for watching you guys, and click like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.